Hey everyone, Connie here, and I need to address something. Um, so a while back, last year in June, I reacted to the first part of something called Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney slash MLP Elements of Justice. It is a crossover of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney games and MLP, and is a unofficial official sequel to the previous one that came out years and years and years ago. Um, I did the first part, and the second part came out months ago now, and I never got to it. And now the third part just came out, and I want to address this right away because I know there's been a couple people who probably have been waiting for me to react to this because I said I was going to continue reacting to it. So I want to address this. the first the first part, like I said, came out last year, and I reacted to it back in June of 2019. The second part came out a few months ago, like maybe in the summer. I don't know exactly when, but at least a year later. Now, by that point, I had forgotten pretty much everything about the first part. I I think the only thing I remember about the first part is it has something to do with Coco, and that's about it. That Coco Pamel is involved in some notable way. The problem is these videos are so fucking long too that it's hard to even to justify trying to watch them again just to get caught up. And then on top of that, I now have two parts that are over an hour each. And not only are they long, but they're honestly kind of not super exciting. Let's be honest. The Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney slash MLP series is not super interesting to watch on a consistent basis. It's really slow paced and not entirely boring in terms of its story and whatnot, but in its presentation. And I've noticed this especially more over the years, trying to rewatch the original one from, like, I think it came out in 2014 or something like that, the original. Um, Turnabout Storm was the original one. I don't remember what this one was called, but I realized that rewatching that over the years, it just, and maybe that one is because I've seen it before, but it's hard to watch over again. There's been multiple times where I've started to watch and gave up and just stopped. Like, even with reactions, it's been hard because they're so long and so slow paced and kind of monotonous. And while the story may be good and interesting, it loses its luster really quickly, for me, at least. And so at this point, I think I have to just make a decision on this, because either I've got to continue putting them off for who knows how long, because I do not have the time to react to them currently. With all the movie reactions we're doing this month, with all the other stuff we still have to do, and just the holiday season in general, I do not have the time to get to them on top of everything else. So either we have to keep putting them off, that's option one, and we probably wouldn't get to them until sometime next year. And I have no idea when. Second option is we would have to blast through both of them right away, but that would also that would cause us to have to hold back on some other stuff, which means that we would get behind on other stuff, which I really don't want to do right now. And the third option is dropping them from reactions and maybe just checking them out on my own time when I can get to them, and maybe doing a review if I can get around to it. But at this point, I think that's the most reasonable option. Because again, if I just keep putting them off, honestly, I'll probably just keep forgetting. Because a lot of the time, I've been forgetting about just doing these. That's why I haven't gotten to them before now, because I just keep forgetting. And that'll probably continue to happen if I keep putting them off. I'll just keep forgetting. And then you have the second option. If I just tried to barrel them out right away, again, it would push other things back probably quite a bit, and it would honestly exhaust me. It would take a lot out of me and just really just make me less motivated to do other stuff anytime soon, which I really don't want that to be the case. I really do not want to lose motivation for reacting to anything anytime soon, especially with all the stuff we've got to get to during this time. um, and the third option is the only reasonable one, because at this point, if we drop it, the problem is gone. And the thing is, this was never like this full fledged series or anything necessarily. It was just like I was going to do it because I liked the original and everything. And one of my viewers here, one of you, I cannot think of your name at the moment, which I really apologize for, actually works on it. And it makes me feel a little guilty for sure about just abandoning it. But at the same time, let's be honest. I've moved away from MLP in a lot of ways. I still love MLP, don't get me wrong, but there's a reason why I never even wanted to react to Pony Life, even before I knew it was crap. I wanted to kind of move away and do other stuff on the channel. I started with MLP, but I wanted to move on and expand things. And things have been expanded for a while, but you know what I mean. I wanted to just kind of let that, as part of the reactions on the channel, go. And again, that doesn't mean MLP won't ever be mentioned again or won't ever be in a video again or whatnot. And hey, when the next generation comes, I might react to it. We'll see. But I don't know at the moment. And right now, we're just going to have to take that as it goes. But the point is that it's not that I've lost interest in MLP, because I still watch some reactors every now and again. It's that I've lost interest in personally reacting to stuff from it at the moment. Especially stuff like this, these big, long, just super investment needed projects. Like if it were something official from the show, that would be one thing. But a big like fan project like this, it doesn't. There's already very little investment in reacting to it as it is. So yeah. So I'm not trying to say this to be mean or anything or to try and upset anyone. I really just want you to understand that I don't have the time to get to these right now. And if I just keep putting them off, I'll just keep forgetting as I have been. And it's just like, at this point, it's just not really worth it to react to it. Again, if I watch it on my own time, I can possibly do a review, but it's like, that will basically, at that point, even still, I'll probably still only watch it bit by bit. Like I'll watch like maybe 20 minutes at a time over the course of like a week for one video. So it's like, yeah, it still won't be like quick for me and won't be in one go. because it's just I don't think I can handle that kind of video in just one go right uh, in the current day. Like I used to be able to, but it's like, and I think I remember like the first part of this too, the first part of Elements of Justice. I was not really saying much or reacting much. I think I was kind of bored half the time and just waiting for something to actually happen. So I think that there's actually the precedence behind that as well, if I'm remembering right. Because I mean, I kind of already said I don't even remember what happened in the first one. It I can remember Turnabout Storm greatly, not maybe every little detail, but I can remember it. But I cannot remember Elements of Justice like pretty much at all. It did not stick with me, and that's not I'm not saying that to insult the people who made it. It was still well made. It's just it didn't I didn't get as invested in it as I had with other projects or with the original Turnabout Storm. It's just I personally didn't. So I think at this point I think it's just the best decision to avoid trying to just continue to just try and remember it long enough to even get to it eventually. So yeah, I apologize to everyone who wanted to see me continue reacting to it. It's just I don't think it's a good idea. At least not now. If my opinion changes before I get the chance to watch it on my own, then sure, maybe I will in the future. But I can tell you it won't be for months. At least not until February. At least. So, in the meantime, I apologize, and if I can get to them like on my own time, like I said, maybe I'll review them, and give my thoughts anyways. Um, but I thank you so much for understanding. It's just there's so much other stuff I want to focus on with the channel, and so much other stuff I want to do, and I have more of a I feel more motivated to get to those. You know, with the movie reactions we've got going on, especially with the holiday special, with the series we're currently doing. So yeah. Either way, I apologize once again. Um, so there's I really do, but for now, this is gonna be how it's gonna have to be. I I can't really help it at this time, at least. So sorry once again, and for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See you all next time.